Welcome to Wayne. I track the direction of money so you don't get lost. Today we decoded the chaotic 40 hours from December 27 to 29. I've categorized my watch list into 8 specific sectors. Let's dive in. The first is meme trends, and if you check, the Pump.fun, and then the platform has cumulatively extract $600 million in fee revenue through its token issuance mechanism. So if you look at the logic behind this massive liquidity black hole, it proves that on-chain capital is constantly being siphoned of the protocol, so leading to the extremely cutthroat PvP mode in the meme sector, where it's very difficult for retail investors to profit. So the second one, so the reason why so many people did not make money from PvP, right? So because some of the experienced player they use market making bot. So I wrote a simulation program to visualize the market makers math. So it's called AS model, right? So let me show you how the algorithm work and how it calculates the toxic flow and hence your liquidity. Here. So here's the simulation, how market maker simulators, right? So look at here, and let's guess up. Look at this. So if you look at this, and there's how the market making survival simulation, right? There's even market makers also needs to be survive. So how we that harvesting by the bot. So let's get started. So if you look at here, right? So the scenario, if you look at it, you are a market maker, and you have a bot. So the current market price is $100, but you have a backlog of 1,000 cons, which is double the normal level. So your goal is to reduce your inventory back to the safe level of 500 cons without taking a loss. So and how did you do that, right? Here's 3 choices. You have 3 choices. The first choice is maintain quotes, right? Buy $99.9 and sell $101. And the second one is sell off aggressively and only list sell orders at $100.1. No buy orders. C is trigger inventory state skill. Lower the quote to buy at 99.5, sell at 99.7. So trigger inventory, right? Yep. Why choose C? So imagine you are a fruit stand owner with a surplus of bananas. To prevent the bananas from rotting, you would lower the price to promote sales. Similarly, market makers will lower the sell price to attract buyers and reduce inventory. That's why you see. So the second one, identify the toxic prey, right? So your inventory has been balanced. Suddenly, a group of traders appeared in the market. Normally, there are 5 buyers and 5 sellers per second, but now 100 orders fall in within 1 second. All of them are market buy orders. So the system alert the VP indicator has soared to 90%. Okay, so what's your choice? A, since everyone is buying, follow the shoe and go long. And B, since many people want to buy, I will sell to them in large quantities and earn the spread. C, immediately cancel orders, right? Or widen the spread. So what's your order? Let's put C. Why should C? Because canceling orders or widening the spread is to avoid selling cheap chips under unknown favorable news, which would lead you having to buy back at a high price later. So imagine you are an insurance company and people usually take out policies normally. Suddenly one day, everyone in the city comes to buy fire insurance. What would you think? You would think, oh, there must be a fire somewhere that I don't know about, right? Would you dare to sell insurance at this time? Absolutely not. You would immediately close the door, cancel all the orders, or increase the premium tenfold. Which means widen the spread. So this is why when retail traders rush in to buy, liquidity dries up and price soar. So what is VP, right? VP means volume synchronized, properly of info trading. So this is an indicator that measures the level of informed trading activity in the market. It detects the imbalance of buy and sell orders to determine whether there is informed trading in the market. So imagine you are a bus train station where the number of people entering and exiting is usually balanced, right? Suddenly you notice 100 people watching, but no one leaving. So you would find this strange because this is very unusual. These 100 people probably know something you don't, such as especially important train is about to arrive. In the financial market, VP is used to detect such abnormal orders flows. When the VP indicator is abnormal, market makers will take defensive measures, such as canceling orders or widening the spread to prevent themselves from the impact of unknown information. So the third part, right? So this is the the wave of toxic retail traders has just rushed in and bought at the high price of $105. Now the buying power is exhausted. No one buying anymore. Your inventory, because you sold some earlier, right, for defense, and you now have all cash. So what's your choice for that? A, buy directly at market price, driving the price up, right? And B, gradually lower the quote to guide the price down and buy back the chips at lower position. So buy lower, right? B. Why B? Because gradually lowering the quote to guide the price down, you can buy back the chips at a lower price and complete the loop. So retail traders have already bought at the peak, and the buying power is exhausted. As a machine, you need to buy back the chips to choose your position. If you buy directly, the price will be higher and your cost will be too high. So you would use the inventory model to continuously lower the buy quote. Retail traders see the price from 105 to 100 and panic, selling at loss. So you can catch the cut meat chips at $100, completing the loop. Let's check the summary, right? So in summary, right, in this financial market, so you're not only facing price fluctuation, but also complex opponents. Market makers manage inventory and prices through complex algorithm and strategy. And retail traders often become the harvest target because they do not understand these strategies. Remember, if you don't know your opponent's strategy, so you will lose. Understanding your opponent's strategy and learning to make wiser decisions in the market is the key to your survival and profitability in the financial market. So we hope this helps you to understand the survival strategy of market makers and how to make a wiser decision in the market. So, and you are not only trading with people, you are trading with bots, machines, right? Let's get back to the second. So the next is also meme, right? There's a alpha, so you call TokenFi, which is similar to developing an ecosystem, right, based on memes, right, folky, right? So the bottom-up types are also something I think we should pay attention to. Perhaps a new direction will also be launched in a similar way, using the wealth effect method of bonding curves. So people will link to meme because they have group of people, they help them to build and have a new narrative. They can do control, make something happen. So for market makers, they can make a longer term, but for people or builders, they can use this as a leverage to build product to launch in the market. The second sector is DEX. So if you look at Uniswap, right? For years, Uniswap was just a governance token, which is useless for the price action. But between December 27 to 29, the game changed. They burned 100 million unit, right? That's $600 million supply, right? So why does it matter? Because the fee switch inactive. Now every time swaps a meme coin or RWA asset, right? A part of that fees burn units. We are moving from TVL Ponzi games to real stock buybacks. So this is a new defined paradigm. So don't look at who has the most block value. Look at who is burning the most supply. So and there's alpha. So up is Blast. For a long time did not see Blast. So it's a BlastDex. Yeah, and it's full of AMMs like the Blaster or the Ruster. So they have yield and they also have pawns, right? So pretty much homogenized, right? So similar many they also copy paste 333 right models. So another old defined. Next, let's check at the third sector is policy watch. So what happened for the policy? If you look at three countries, right, US and also US, right? Let's check out US. This is the news. This is a good news, right? So the US, the Fed account pivot, right? The Federal Reserve is advancing skinny master accounts. What does it mean? It means stablecoin users, issuer might soon bypass commercial banks and often open accounts directly with the Fed. So this ends the era of debanking. So if stablecoins get direct Fed access, so they become easy. So to everyone can have their account. So this is watch the DeFi sector on Solana base, right? The infrastructure for global settlement is being legalized. And China, right? China, the silent legal shift. So on the surface, right, trading is still banned in China, but look deeper, right? The Supreme People's Court is discussing controllable electronic records. They are not banning speculation. They are legalizing property rights. They are defining how digital assets can be inherited and transformed. This is the legal groundwork for either way. China is paving the way for the future, likely with Hong Kong as the gateway. So look at Russia. So Russia, this is the biggest news from December 26, right? One of the Russia's largest bank just issued the first crypto bank loan. So think about it. So a state-owned bank accepting crypto as a collateral for fiat loans. Why? Because sanction cut off SWIFT, right? Crypto is now a national survival tool. So institution DeFi isn't a dream. So in Russia, it's now a necessity. So in general, so the US wants it for payment. So China wants it property rights. Russia wants it for survival. So 2026 isn't about if they adopt it. So it's about how they use it. Look at the fourth sector. So it's about the decentralized, perps. So hyperliquid at the first is Esther, right? And second lighter, hyperliquid. So this is pretty cool. So, and each exchange have their own, pretty much they have their own, purse. And lighter is behind Coinbase and Robinhood, and Esther is behind Binance. The new one is Nado. Nado is behind Kraken. So hyperliquid is the leading, right? So most of the, if you look at hyperliquid well, right? So if you look at the hyperliquid well, you see they are exiting. So they're exiting from hyperliquid, right? $17 million, from hyperliquid, and they move to lighter because they can buy light LIT to do all the all the pawns, right? So I think lighter maybe have some pawns you can get. So if you only have $1,000, maybe you can maybe be smart, right? So the lighter section ends on December 31st. So we have 48 hours left. So lighter is right, second one. So you have 48 hours left. Their pawn system rewards volume and liquidation. So here's with $1,000. So you can strategy, maybe you can open long position on lighter and open short position on Binance for the same amount. So in result, you have a zero market risk, and you keep trading to generate volume. So with $1,000 and 5x leverage, you can generate 100K in volume relatively quickly, right? So if you lit launch at it's $3, right? So the volume could turn into 5 to 1,000 airdrop allocation, but that's a risk. So be careful. So if you don't know how to play this game, don't do that. Yeah, this is a battlefield, right? Decentralized perhaps. This is it's a money making machine. So many people, many competitors, big players, they compete with each other. You can see the signal, right? There's a well open $88 million short on Ethereum. But there's a key. He didn't do it on centralized exchange like Binance, something like that. He did it entirely on hyperliquid. So, and then he moved his stablecoin profit into Army to earn 6% yield. So what you will see, this is very sophisticated cash and carry strategy. So he execute 100% on chain and on hyperliquid, right? No KYC, no black box risks for exchange, freezing his fund. So and use obviously you and pretty transparent. So right? It's a trustless you. So that's the trend. Let's look at the fifth. So the prediction market game. There's also strategy, right? So there's a guy who behind his $85 in profit. So I also do a simulation, do a program. So let's check how does it work, how he make $85 million in profit. Like this French guy, it's a French Val, right? And he make money on US election. So most of the people think he got lucky. Actually, they are wrong. So I fed his 11 wallets clusters and 95 million transactions into my analyst model. What I found is not gambling. This is a systematic hedge fund strategy. Here are 3 core pillars of his strategy system that you can copy, right? So strategy 1 is check this one, right? If you play this one, because the market loss is you have to over this one in order to make money. So at least 2%. So no matter what you do right now, if you do 100 times, you do it at loss, right? You lose money because this only possibility is 50%. Even you look at here, right? The gambler's rule. Even you win a few times in a short term due to the odd disadvantage, the 1.8x offer is lower than the fair 2x. So your expected value is negative. In long term, you are donating money to the market. This is a fate of the retail gambler. Let's look at the second one. So that's the spotting, edge. How will Trump, win the election, right? So if you have this, you can use the private pool item, right? Review the truth. So you have this profit soon. So you can make profit from this one because, here, what you just did is the house behavior. You didn't bet on Trump's winning. You bet the market price, 40 cents, is wrong and must return to the true probability, 60%. You ate the edge in between, which is much safer than betting on outcome. So that's harvesting the emotion, right? So what he did. See, there's a fluctuation, right? You buy it here and then sell for panic. So there's a fluctuation. You're going down, right? And then you buy and then close for profit when you go up. So you're harvesting the fear. So you will see the probability stays at 50%. A crash is free money. So retail is panicking and you provide sanity. So then how you make money, right? That's how you become the wealth. This odd spike 90%, right? You just sell. That's how you make your money. So I think they are playing this, strategy. So this is how that guy made $85 million. Okay, look at the macro perspective. So the macro perspective, this guy look, everyone is waiting for money printers, right? This guy just hit and sell the button, right? Look, confirm. He tactically, sized down his big composition. So his thesis is AI is causing exponential deflation in a deflationary shock. Bitcoin isn't acting like a gold. So it's acting like a high beta tech stock. So when the economic tightens, tech stock get crushed. So he rotate into silver and industrial metals, assets that are scarce and critical for defense. So this is the smart money bear case. This guy. And next is the ETF, right? The ETF is outflow, so nearly 800 million outflow, during Christmas. Pretty much maybe tax loss harvesting, so they're doing all those, tax things. So because they're institution selling, so that's good. That's normal, Whenever near the Christmas, people sell. So let's now look at the AI narrative. So the AI narrative, right? So evolution from chat to action. So last cycle still is last one is AI agent. So from all the chatbots, right, doing chat and issuing token. So we are witnessing a massive shift. So in the past, AI was chatbot, right? In 26, AI is a wallet, right? Give agents a wallet. The consensus is pretty clear. So AI agent don't need bank accounts. They need smart contracts. So we call this agentic finance, right? It has the opportunities and risk. I'm checking right now. So opportunity one, this is one of the project, right? It's a holder. So he's raised $1.5 million recently, and he's doing first emotional AI agent in Injective, right? The logic behind is as it's trading bots, it has emotional intelligence and long-term memory. So if it's as a agent as asset narrative, think like a early virtual protocol. So but in a personality layer. So if the agent can make money from the trade and then buy back, so we'll see. Yeah. Still pretty hard because they are still using LLM models, unless they use have so much computation to do the word spatial intelligence added inside, so they can sense the flow, the money flow in the market, and they have not LLM, because LLM they have illusion, so hallucination, right? So that's if it's wrong, then you crash. You can see all the LLM models to trade stocks and crypto, they all lost because they can only trade it into 2 dimensions, not 3 dimensions. So let's see if these were intelligent. So that model comes in, that is the time to make money, or unless you have so much computation. So, and you can see this project alpha Lisa, right? So this security, so you can use the before you just check the AI agents, check AI agents security, check the smart contract and so on, right? So they raised $12 million. They wanted to build the largest benchmark data set. So as the agent economics grows, AI security becomes the key thing. So this is pretty infrastructure. So the third is danger alarm. So snowmans warnings that some hackers, right, and they have integrated hack in through the prompt positioning, right? So how do they do that? Hackers know now using malicious prompt to trick AI agent into draining wallets, right? It's called prompt injection. If you are playing with autonomous agents, check if they have a permission layers of sandbox. So if not, your AI may be working for hackers. So the future, of course, is the business to agent. So what's the infrastructure that gives AI rights and security on chain? So we'll see. Let's check the A sections. Other alphas, right? Check other alphas. They also have a GameFi, a supply shock, super app, DP, PayFi AI. So let's see all the other things. So this Astra novel, this is a GameFi thing, right? So the RPG game, so on Unreal Engines, is a free to play. So AI plus UE5. So they belong to the immutable ecosystem. So IMX ecosystem. So IMX still doing things, right? Building game. So and the supply shock BitMine. So this is news, right? BitMine put $200 million ETH, getting his yield. So I think it's 3% yield on chain. So the third is what's that? That's Infinite Flow, right? The third one is Flow. So this is pretty old, right? So they got hacked, I think, something. $1 billion company now become 10 million. So if there's maybe they get rug or something like that, or they have something, right? They have some new plan. So I think, remember now it's $10 million something market cap. So from 1 billion to 10 mil. So what happened? MetaDAO. So Solana governance innovation. It's on the Solana ecosystem. So MetaDAO. Infinix, they're raising money, from 300 mil to 100 mil, since active founder. So, and Inference Labs, AI plus CK. So I think this is pretty much, during the Zcash grow pumps, timing to do the fundraising. So yeah, that was the trend. But now maybe CK is just a function. So it costs so much computation. It's not worth it, because I can see right now with Tyler, right, use the Rayco or something like that, right, to transfer his money, anonymously, right? So, and it works, but this costs so much computation. It's not worth it. Humanity Protocol. So the Pantera, right, again, and John raised $50 million. It's hard to get. So Fin, it's A5. So for all the stablecoin infrastructure, that's also a trend. Nubila, so it's more like deep in AI thing. So I think maybe has potential this area. So we'll see the robotics, trend, right? And material mat, they have this, dynamic fee mechanism. So the purpose look at this, at least, every day you look at 10 or 50, 40, 100 projects, right? At least you look at it. This will be good to you. So, yep, this is Van. I will see you in the next vlog. So follow, the channels, and then you can check projects, right? Review project with me daily.